The camera fades in, and we find Dalton walking through the door of the base.
Do I smell cheeseburgers?
Yes,
I believe Dalton has arrived.
Oh.
Hey, what are you guys doing? Talking to Karen.
We've been figuring out Krill and all of her issues.
Oh, she still doesn't work.
Oh, we've made progress.
Okay. Can she pick things up yet?
Oh, yes.
Perfect.
Her locomotive functions have improved significantly within the last few minutes.
Where is she?
She is out on a
She
walk with
stepped out.
Patty.
Oh, God. Hopefully Patty doesn't make her run up any hills.
Is Patty known
I
to do
actually
that?
think she would be able to handle that just fine.
Dalton just
You might
having
have a new
flashbacks.
jogging partner.
Oh.
Where in the city abouts are Patty and Krill?
I would say they're just coming back from the walk, so they probably went like a half a mile out at most, hit like a nice little view, and then were making their way back in the moment.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Then Patty and Krill, as you're walking along, what you see is all of the holographic displays, all of the advertisements, all of the street traffic control mechanisms, all of the signage stutter and blink out. Everybody, your codexes, if they're turned on, all of a sudden have a little crackle of static. And then you hear, if you're looking at a holo display, you see a shrouded figure. We are PJ. Stand by. We have seized control of the emergency alert system. We are all held hostage by a society that provides distraction after distraction in order to hide its true nature away, just as our self-appointed dictators hide behind their layers of defenses. While we cannot yet remove your overpriced tech or guards or walled compounds, we can ensure that you cannot use anonymity as one of your tools. We are PJ for the collective. Now, anybody looking at a holographic display, anybody looking at a net-connected device, would now see, flashing before their eyes, a sequence of pictures, images. You'd see, with text labeled across it, a tall woman in her late 50s, short-cropped silver hair, piercing blue eyes, tailored business attire. Chairperson, Alexandra Alex Harrington, former CEO of Red Sea Corporation. Spouse, new picture, Sarah Jacobs. Children, Emily, new picture, Samuel, ages 16 and 20. You see it rotate to a new picture, William Bill Masterson. Burly man in his late 60s, bald with white goatee, wearing a smart set of glasses. Labeled across the bottom, co-founder of Blue Sky Corporation. Boom, spouse, Patricia Trish Masterson. Boom, children, Laura. Boom, Mark. Elise Delarue. Mid-40s, curly auburn hair, green eyes. Bold geometric jewelry. Boom, across the bottom, former CEO of Varangian. Boom, new picture, Andrea Delarue, spouse. Boom, new picture, Zhang Wei. Early 60s, clean shaven with a head of meticulously combed black hair with strands of white. Even in this photo, a serious demeanor. Boom, high-ranking official from Tianjin branch of Astra. Boom, spouse, Zhu Fang. Boom, children, Zhang Ji. Boom, Zhang Lin. Boom, Zhang Yan. Every single member of the Global Arcology Council is being doxxed before your eyes, and their families included. Liu Meihu, late 50s, petite bob haircut, often seen, vibrant business attire. Boom, former head of Exogen mining conglomerate. Spouse, boom, Chen Wei. Boom, child, Lu Ying. New picture, Ioka 4, early 50s, bald, wiry frame, dressed in a traditionally sharp business suit, but with a touch of traditional African fabrics as accessories. Boom, Exogen, domestic mining. Boom, spouse, Nia Oka 4. Boom, children, Kwame, Afia. Rosa Diaz, late 40s, short cropped brown hair, brown eyes, wearing business attire. Started her former investment banker. Boom, spouse, Gabriel Fernandez. Boom, children. Boom, Sophia, Mateo. Comes back. We are PJ for the collective. Boom. And it starts repeating over and over. This is on a loop. Whatever this is. This loop continues.
Before Krill, uncertain for how long they'll have it, Krill, taking a moment of respite, tries to activate a recording.
Give me a roll.
And take it. Okay.
Staying as you said you're taking a moment and you're in this respite. Feel free to do it with advantage.
-1 is the best roll.
What's your hack?
I think my hack might only be a +1.
Your hack is indeed a +1.
I don't know why I can't, for the life of me, find where we put that shit now. Docs, thank you. I always forget to open the character sheet. All right. And now hack +1. So that's a 0 total.
Yes. You are busy fumbling through your interface as this is occurring.
Is this appearing on the codex at all? Or...
If you look at your codex, it would be on the screen.
Okay. Could Patty have turned on the codex and then be catching this in the process?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You absolutely could. Like, I could see Patty easily because it would be over your earpiece for the codex. Like, you would. Yeah. You would be hearing it either way because they have hijacked the emergency broadcast network.
Yeah. So once it runs through the first time, she's going to turn it on and record it the second time just in case Krill can't catch it.
Troy is basically his own codex at this point.
He is. He just downloaded the codex extension that Krill sent him, so he absolutely is.
Yeah, and he just kind of has an active recording memory, so... Okay. This is technically being recorded by Troy.
Given...
Krill used to have that.
Given that you have actively recorded it, whatever notes that you have managed to put together, I will feel free to augment in the future if you need them.
That was said so fast, I was hoping you were just going to copy and paste it for us.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I will have to watch back once this episode's released,
I
can be able to.
was going to say, like, you literally have video recordings. So
Yeah, I managed to get down to 6.
Yeah,
Same. I got
down
6 names.
Alexandra, William, Elise, Zhang Wei, Lu Meihu, I think that's how pronounced it, Okafor, and Rosa Diaz.
congratulations. You have the names of the Global Arcology Council.
Are any of
Lord, are
them
you scary?
I wanted
Huh?
the earlier ones though. That's the ones I really wanted.
I only missed the last name of Alexandra. That was all I missed.
Harrington.
Harrington. Cool.
And I just want to triple check. Uradella wasn't listed in there, right?
It was
subsidiary
it was-
of Uradella was.
Subsidiary of Uradella was.
Exogen, mining, and domestic.
No,
And then,
sorry. I mistook it for something else.
and then we had
Check on that
we
one.
had Varangian, we had Red Sea, Blue Sky, and we had an investment banker. And
They find their way into
Yeah.
everything.
Investment bankers?
hey, Kai, as that recording is playing, can I pay attention to how everybody is responding right now? Like in the general
Mhm.
area?
You absolutely can.
Yeah. What are they doing? How is people responding?
It is a mixture of bemusement, a few shocked glances. I would say if I were forced to put a number on it, 50% go, and continue about their day. They have work to do, jobs to get to, things to accomplish, creds on the line, right? 25% are standing there sort of like, like the ones that can spend the moment, sort of like the newsstand candy seller guy is standing there talking to the latest customer, and they're having a good chuckle about how, serves them right. Somebody finally did it sort of situation. And then you see, the odd person who stumbles over a curb or clips a pole because they're so enraptured by what's occurring.
Patty, whoa. Krill just pulls Patty out of the way as a car just from.
Hey, I'm fine. I was walking on the sidewalk. That car just veered off.
All the same.
Okay.
Let's not have you falling apart now that I'm fixed.
I don't need to
Prefer
be a
that to
patty,
be.
right?
Yeah, let's not make a patty cake.
Yeah. All right, let's head on back. Can I look on the codex at current news? Any of these names might pop up
In
Flux.
in world,
In Flux.
the broadcast goes on for about 3.5 minutes. It cycles this data for about 3.5 minutes. And then you see it sort of and cut. And everything goes back to normal.
Okay.
That's the third fucking time we've seen these guys.
Mm-hmm. They're the ones behind the original explosion that I avoided from it taking out its targets and us in turn.
Yep. Well, yeah, let me look at my notes real quick, because they claimed responsibility.
No, the drone that I had specifically hacked had literally their signature inside it.
Did it?
Yep. If I could bring up hollow projections or find that file in my memory banks, I would show you. I have no idea where it's hiding.
Yeah, but like, God, okay, let's just head on back. I'm trying to remember the details. PJ claimed responsibility, but the boss lady, the ISB person, was trying to deflect it to somebody else, right?
No, I believe the news reporters had misattributed it to the Nils. But that was only simply a mistake of theirs, not actually any
Yeah,
direct news. I'm not sure who was behind that.
PJ. Right. The PJ leaked the confidential NSFPD files. That's what they did.
Correct.
So,
Correct. This is
okay.
their third terrorist attempt.
I don't know if I would call it terrorist.
It's infoterrorism. They just put world equivalent of world leaders, name, dates, family. The only thing they didn't put out there was their location, God forbid, but in any of those photos there is a background.
Yeah.
People could try and find them through that.
Yeah, I mean, if any of these fuckers are in an NSF, they might not be pretty for them for a couple days.
I would not assume that this protection only went to NSF at that. If this is something widespread, they could have sent this even further.
I don't know. I don't know anybody outside of NSF, so I'm only working what I got here.
Understandable.
Well, actually, we do know somebody outside of NSF. They are off planet, though.
I'm sorry, the Zero G boy. It's probably not who we require right now.
All right, let's head on back.
I don't even think we can ask him if he saw the if we saw the system or not. Who knows?
Yeah, I've tried to send messages. It takes like a while to even just get one way going.
I have never tried. I'll have to take your word for that.
Yeah, well, more often than not, it kind of just fails, so I just kind of give up halfway.
I have a feeling you were not using the correct sending platform then.
I don't know.
Because ships do receive contracts and messages and orders. They've made
Yeah.
that perfectly clear.
I mean, yeah, but like with this thing, kind of feels like it would be a little hard to send messages the whole way. I'm stupid.
Not
with
sure where
technology.
you're. Yeah, let's not, Patty.
Yeah.
I understand if you can't figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's head on back, and she just kind of starts
Yeah.
walking back to the base.
What the hell is that smell?
Burgers.
No. I know Dalton's smell already.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, is that what Jiku smells like?
That's what his shop smells like.
Ooh. Okay. I've not introduced myself to him. I've mostly just been an onlooker through the exterior cameras. I think it's time I, met the little effective thief.
You call him little. He isn't that much shorter than you.
Actually, at this point, I'm pretty sure he's probably taller than me.
He's getting there, at least.
I meant more little as in age, but all the same. He yoinked from you pretty easily enough, so gotta give him props.
Patty's eye just twitches for a second. Yeah.
Oh, hey, your eye's twitching. You want me to check that
I'm
out once I can
fine.
figure
If
out
you
how to do
want-
this?
Do you want the noodles? If you want the noodles, just go over.
I can eat.
Yeah. You actually have to do that a couple times a day now.
Oh. Like I have to.
Yeah. Unless you just want to be hooked up like fucking Noel was the whole time.
I'm not actually sure if that would even work for this body. I had to consume a certain amount of calories to maintain what little flesh I used to have, but this one seems to actually have a calorie fuel tank. I may be without a luck and actually have to consume.
Yeah, well, the benefit is now that you can actually taste it, shit tastes good.
Oh god, I have taste buds.
So come on, and Patty starts pushing Krill over to the stand a little bit. Come on.
Oh, okay. And Krill just does a look around to see if Jiku's behind the stall or maybe somewhere inside the building.
Jigu's stall is by this point open, having spent the previous day and maybe a part of the evening with Natalie. He is back.
Not describing anything else of minors, though. We got it
Back
there.
at I was just going to cruise on past it, but okay. Kids can get up to innocent fun by themselves.
Yes.
I have no idea what you're talking about. No 13-year-old has ever transgressed.
Never.
He is, as typically, standing appointed behind the stall, keeping an eye on the broth, as it were. As you approach, a person is leaving. Maybe the first time you've ever actually seen a customer at this stall. But there is a customer leaving and says, "Okay, until next time, Jigu." And Jigu just nods. And as he looks up to nod at the customer, he immediately catches sight and starts grinning. It's like, "What's up, my bitch?"
Hey, shitface, how's it going?
Here for another beating?
No, actually, how do I say this? We've both got a new and old returning person.
Are you going senile this soon?
No, actually,
I couldn't
lost
tell
my
you,
mind 5
honestly.
years ago. Shut up, Krill. You remember the robot walker coming in and out?
Takes a beat and he goes, "Oh, you finally trade in that trash can."
Yeah, no, that thing was falling apart at the bits. Well, I did miss some of its extremities. I really needed to get out of that shit stain.
Legs are looking better.
Yeah, no, they match.
They work.
Incredibly so, actually. I was able to take a stroll with ease.
Hey, look at
Neat.
that, working legs. So, and he looks at Patty. You just here to get your daily tongue lashing in, or you actually want to buy something?
I wasn't here to buy anything. She was curious about the shop. She's actually never actually eaten food before.
Oh. In that case, pull up a chair.
I'd love to. And Krill, taking a look at the stool, starts contemplating how she's going to sit in it.
Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this.
And
You pull it back, and you just go over it and sit down.
She hops way more dramatically than you think you described to her. And she pulls it in. Whoa! Okay.
Give me a roll.
Hey! That's a +2.
The chair, the stool, for the first part, actually doesn't break under you. And second part, Chiku goes, "Well, aren't we a hippity-hoppity little excited gal today? All right. Somebody's got some energy."
I have never been able to move so freely. I am genuinely just excited for the experience.
Jigu walks out from behind the counter stall and comes up to you on the other side of the stall and puts his hand out like this.
Go on, you got it.
Krill puts her hand in his. Oh god, that's dice!
He pulls you off of the stool, very gently. He's just sort of guiding you. And he guides you out into the middle of the sort of alleyway, the alcove. And he points down the alleyway. He says, "You beat me down and back. Noodles are on me."
Patty pulls out her codex, sets the stopwatch up. I'll count it.
I see why not. This seems like a fun experience.
Okay. Let's break those legs in.
Krill's natural instinct to get ready, she starts to hunch over far more animalistic-like than moments before. As anyone remembering her old stance, her legs kind of find that bowing they had before, ready to bounce.
Devilman Crybaby kicks in.
Gotta get that reference, holy fuck.
Alright. On 3, y'all will take off, hit, and come back, alright? 1, 2, 3.
Give me a roll.
God damn it. -2.
Jigu is...
Oh.
No, but like this was expected.
Jigu is immediately off the line. But what you see is he spins around. And he starts jogging backwards. Not necessarily as a show, not to show off, but what you then see is he's encouraging Krill to catch up. He goes, "You got to stand up straight. What are you doing?"
I don't know how to move.
It's not a human body, not an animal body. Run!
Listen. Nobody needs advice from you.
And Krill just tries to lean forward and straighten out her spine while she does it.
Jigu, using his speed, plants a foot, pivots, and is next to you. And you feel him do this.
Whoa.
He's still jogging. He's just right next to you. He's jogging. But he corrects your posture. He doesn't put you perfectly straight, but he leaves a little forward lean in you. And he's like, "All right, now, one foot in front of the other. Come on, you got this. Give me another roll."
+1.
See? Just like that. You got this. He's still staying right in front of you. He's like, "Okay, now I want... move your arms." And
Krill
he starts
clawing
demonstrating.
at the air.
He's
doing it.
He's like, "Less like you, more like me. Less like you, more like me." And he's next to you at this point, just keeping pace, and he's showing you how to run.
Krill tries to adjust as best as she can, trying to work out her old body's natural instincts. And while she's definitely not finding the most humanish posture, she's still more than before now. Her hands mostly flatten out as she starts moving her arms.
As you start to lean down a little bit with bad habit, you feel on your shoulder again. That hand just pull you back a little bit. Patty.
Mm-hmm.
Jigu is being explicitly nice to somebody he just met.
Yeah. Well, 50-50 on that for just met.
They've literally been in a shootout together once, and other than that, Krill and him have had zero interaction.
He's being explicitly nice here. Not just like, "Oh, hey, welcome to my stall." He has taken this person under his wing and is having a moment with them.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to do. Patty sees like a little rock off to the side, and she's going to drag it over with her foot as they're like running. And she's basically just going to, the key word is create an advantage. I think try and hold a rock, being able to like kick it where his foot's going to land and try to throw him off whenever he's about to cross.
Okay, so an advantage would pre-exist.
Hmm.
If you want to do that motion,
Mm-hmm.
creating an advantage would be like if you tried to slick up the alleyway with oil, or you wanted to pre-position that rock in a place you think he might be running. You could then do that mechanic that you're attempting to do, create that advantage, right? Otherwise, what you really want to do is just a contested roll or or an attack roll when he crosses that line. But good narrative preparation, right? So that's what you would want to do is like, I'm just going to get this rock from the back of the alcove and bring it over just to have.
Yeah.
Right.
Just ready for whatever he's coming up.
Okay. Someone else finally read the rules. Okay, so as you are running down the alley, give me another roll.
I'm going to, but as Krill starts to feel her new body come in place, I want to spend one of my fate points to pull on Mechanical Marvel, Medical Monstrosity, and leap.
Okay.
Flat 0.
So you got a +2, if that's how you wanna roll with this, which is, I mean, is fair, right? This is fair, but the fact that you were able to even jog, right, and the fact that you were even able to jog and plant a foot and jump and land successfully.
Mm-hmm.
That's something Krill has never done.
At this point, she's almost forgotten she's in a race after that happened. She's just like, oh my god.
Hey, you're not done yet. Keep going.
Jigu's just standing next to you, just keeping pace, but he is smiling.
I feel so mobile.
You've been trapped in that body a long time, haven't you?
Since I was 14.
How old are you now?
I'm 28.
Wow. It's a long time. It's like 2 of me.
I only been out of that lab, luckily, for a decent chunk of it, but I'm still just getting used to existing, let alone changing my body now. It's remarkable. And while she's saying that, she's kind of jogging in place, matching him, and then tries to keep moving forwards.
Give me a roll.
Hey, +2. Just started.
When you reach the end of the alleyway, you do it together. He's staying right beside you. And you hit that end, and you, for the first time in your life, plant a foot and pivot off into the other direction. You feel the inertia, and then your body springboarding that inertia, using that very energy that you put into it to bounce in the other direction. Learning how how this body works, how a body works, how a functional body works, and how this body works. This body that's designed with biomimicry in mind, that does have springy pseudomuscles and pseudotendons, that has biomimicked elements in it, right? And you can feel that in your body, that sort of compression and that expression, that expansion of the components.
As they're crossing, is Jigo closer to Patty or away from Patty?
I mean, they've just reached the end of the alleyway and they're coming back.
Okay, I'm just seeing which sides they're on so I can be ready.
Oh my god.
She's got she's got a vendetta.
Moment. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful moment they're having. Patty's up here. I'm gonna fuck that kid's day up. Frill looks over to Jigu and goes, "Thank you. Out of everyone, you so far have been the one with the most patience with me since I've gone in this body."
Well, really, and as he's just sort of jogging next to you, he goes, "Really, it's self-serving. I'm just trying to get you to work up an appetite so you buy more noodles."
Sounds perfect. Also, I just want to apologize again for that day that the stink was unbearable from that fucking battery.
Yeah, if you guys not burn lithium batteries that in the alcove, that'd be great. Thanks. You just sort of...
Yeah, it was jerry-rigged to explode. We didn't consider it before opening a device.
I've set off a fair few traps in my day. It's okay. Give me one last roll.
-2.
As you come down the alleyway, for the first time, what pops up into your HUD is a low energy warning.
Well, perfect time to test this. Hey, Jiku, I'm low on battery. And this is a calorie intake energy system.
Well then, we better get you a noodle.
Sounds perfect.
They are coming back at you, Patty.
Which is Jiku closer or farther away?
Well, I mean, they're running side by side, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, but like Patty's watching as they're coming back up, right? And she's trying to figure out if he's on the side closest to her or away from her. Like, who's
Patty
closer?
just needs to sidestep to be on that side.
Away.
You know, Patty's basically pausing in that moment. She sees Krill running up, and she almost kicks it, and then she just kicks it the other way away from them. Nice.
You weren't going to land it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just wanted to show you how either way how that played out, how that was gonna play out. Apparently,
Honestly, I was gonna roll for Krill to attempt to intercept anyways.
Jigu crosses the impromptu finish line with Krill, and he just sort of, all right, let's get you that bowl of noodles.
Let's make it extra large. I have a feeling this body needs a lot.
So Dalton sized. Got it.
Is that what we're calling it now? Love it. I'll take the Dalton special.
He goes back to the stall and he first cracks a beer and puts it up. He goes, Dalton special.
If you don't want the beer, I can just give it to Dalton.
Krill looks over it, and she's just like, okay, this body should have this capability. And she attempts to scan. Can she scan with this body, or is...
Give me your roll.
All right. Hey, that's a +2.
This is a beer.
Fermented and carbonated yeast, barley.
As you stare at
bread
your
drink.
beer, he's making the bowl.
Bill just simply takes the can and
It is.
Takes a sip.
It is heady, and the first time one has a beer is always an interesting experience. It's not exactly pleasant.
She's making a sour face, and she's going, "Why is it dry? Why is it dry?"
You know, if you get a second, it gets better.
I will take your word for it.
Jigu is filling this dinner plate sized bowl full of broth, the noodles in the bottom and the broth and all of the accoutrements, the Thai basil and the bean sprouts and the slices of meat across the top, and just all of this going into it, and the chili oil, and picks it up, puts it on the counter, and slides it towards you, Krill. He goes, and he just sort of stands back. He goes, "So, is this your first time having real food?"
The only thing I had ever and Krill just catches herself in this almost computer-like expression, and she's kind of like, the only time I've ever needed to the only time I've ever needed to consume calories was for NutriShakes. My old body, I couldn't taste.
Oh, so yeah, first time you've ever had food. Got it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He sort of just leans on the counter then and watches.
She looks at the chopsticks. I'm going to attempt, but please do not forgo me if I require a spoon.
You ever held a pencil?
I have held a pencil.
Okay, it's
But this would be
kinda
two
like
pencils.
that. Kinda.
I've never held a pencil in these hands, so, you know, give me grace. I would love to figure this out in time.
Eh. Patty hits the codex, send a message to Dalton. Hey, you want anything to eat? We're at Jigu's right now.
You see her with them, just they keep doing the crossing thing.
There is a big spoon that gets served with it either way. There's chopsticks and a big spoon sort of thing.
Yeah, but she still wanted to try. Like, it's actually hard for me to fake doing bad chopsticks because I eat with them all the time. Oh, okay. Spoon it is.
Eh.
And she takes a huge spoonful. She tries to make sure there's noodles in it and broth.
What were you saying, AJ?
Patty gets a message that says noodle bowl.
Alright, you're paying for it. Dalton wants a bowl.
Ah, my man. All right, I'll get him one to go. You are tasting. Well, really, for the first time, you are tasting. But there are all sorts of things that you can't quite identify. There is umami, there is sweet, there is savory, there is spicy, but there's also numbing. Your senses are firing. There's floral. There's earthy. There's of the ocean. There is the best way that Krill could probably place some of these is atmospheric or sort of terroir sort of descriptors that like, oh, this smells like what I think dirt might taste like in a good way. This smells like what I think the ocean might taste like in a good way, right? This smells like that sort of thing. And you are having sensations of temperature, of crisp, cold beans, of bean sprouts in your mouth as they crunch under the weight of your jaw, and they provide a cooling sensation compared to the hot. You have all of these contrasts going on in your mouth.
Girl, just taking this in. It was just kind of awestruck for a moment before she just starts shoveling more in excitedly.
I think you broke her.
Jigu, just grinning, slides a to-go order over to you and goes, "It's on the house
Well-
for my man."
Cool.
Krill leans up. And considers all she knows about food services. And opens up Ducats Go. It's Google. And sees if she can find Jigu's stand on there.
Give me a roll.
-1, so 0 total. Mama. The dice are so mean to me whenever it's anything internal today.
Yep.
Out external. Let's have fun. Let's get the body work in. Internal. Fuck you, bitch. You don't get to know how to Google.
It's not so much a lack of skill. It's more Jigu keeps his head down as far as media presence goes.
She lets out a sigh. I'm sorry, Jigu. I cannot find anywhere to leave you an outstanding review.
Oh, well, yeah, like, I mean,
He's right there.
just tell your friends.
All of my friends know of your location already, though.
Job done then.
Actually, I used this skill once before. Krill's gonna look up hidden gems forums specifically for shit like this.
Okay.
Forums have been her home before. +1.
And technically this would be a resource.
Oh shit, no. Love it. So that's a +4 total.
Uh-huh.
And Krill just on the forum just posts, "What an incredible find I found in this tiny alleyway off the central lane. Look for Jigu's stall.
Okay.
Noodle stall. You will be surprised with what you find, and I promise you he won't leave you wanting. He won't leave you wanting."
Consider that posted.
I've done what I can then. We just put you on a hidden gems. So hopefully we find some people, you find a little bit more customers that way.
Jigu is apprehensive looking.
I'm sorry, was that too much?
The net's a big place. You never know who might read that.
It's very true. I won't deny that.
Yeah, we don't want assholes who are bullies coming up in here like last time.
I did explicitly not leave like a hidden location, just general direction. And hopefully enough for idiots and those people not truly looking to miss, though.
Jigu's codex goes off. And he looks down at it and he says, I hope you enjoy your noodle bowl. I gotta go handle some business, and I'll be back later.
Could Patty get a read on Jigu before he leaves? Like,
You can try.
all right.
Yeah, even Krill's going to try.
That's a +7 total!
-4!
Let's go.
That is a total of... Krill's got a... Yeah, +1 in empathy, so it's a -3. Oh boy, she's still not seeing shit.
Patty just rolled an epic. I legitimately don't know how I want to give away what I want to give away. Whatever has just occurred needs immediate addressing and seems to matter. It's empathy. It's not psychic powers.
Patty sees the response, and as Krill's getting up, she's like, look, all bullshit aside, if something comes up and it's bad, you need to put something back together, hit me up. And she just walks off and just flips him off again.
Jigu takes 3 steps away from you. Pauses, turns slightly and goes, thanks. Fuck you.
Yeah, she gives a nod and says, go fuck yourself, and then just keeps walking.
Krill is looking back and forth between this interaction going, what the fuck just happened?
I hate the little shit stain. She says that very quietly, not trying to make it obvious Jigu can hear, and just kind of just pushes her with the to-go order into the base.
Krill is still holding the bowl. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll return the bowl after, I guess. I'm not done.
Well, we're gonna be literally walking past it anyway, so it's fine.
So, hey y'all, how are you doing? This is delicious, by the way.
Yeah, you get my noodles?
It's right here, and Patty just finishes off the beer.
Thanks. Dalton, not even noticing the beer, grabs the food and starts digging in.
Krill just starts tipping the bowl to her face.
Krill, is the bowl empty yet?
It is down to its last, like, quarter, hence why she is tipping to get it.
Okay, cool. Let me know when it's empty.
So, how is everyone?
Just peachy.
You see the shit that was on the fucking broadcast?
The PJs for the collectives.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, a bunch of rich fuckers, something about it, yeah.
Couldn't be us.
Yeah. You think any one of those fuckers are in this city?
It's a central hub, I would imagine.
I have literally zero clue.
I would put money down that at least a decent chunk of them, but I have no absolutes.
Yeah. Well, if we see shit start blowing up in a day or so, you know.
Are we expecting more pyrotechnics?
I don't know. I'm just saying it's possible.
Ah, the bowl is empty.
a sensor notice pops up on your screen and says energy level 25%.
Crill's looking at the huge bowl that she just finished. Huh. This is, I don't know how much energy I started with since the surgery, but apparently I need a lot more of that.
Does the manual say how many calories you need in a day?
Can you also
Not
plug
this-
yourself in?
I can, but I'm not sure if this is tracking strictly calorie or my overall power.
You can read it in the manual, you can figure it out.
Who reads those?
Well, considering you're an entire fucking body, I'd recommend it.
You know, the human body doesn't come with a manual, I should take advantage. I think
That's a
there
good
is
point.
an internalized one. Krella, taking in a deep breath, kind of feels inspired from the moments that have just passed. The running with Jiku, the bowl, everything, and she's just there like, I can do this, I can do this.
Roll with advantage.
And she tries to access her manual. That's a +3. That's a +3.
The manual opens.
She does immediately go to its power chapter on its power settings and such.
The body, the NRF, the UA NRF BAU 4.2 has an extended net dive capability. It doesn't require it can use supplemental sources, but it can run for 72 hours if you fill it. The caloric equivalent to filling the tank 15,000 calories.
But this is considered alternative power source to it?
No, you can use an alternative power source, and that would be measured in, a different form. But if you calorically feed yourself you are requiring 5,000 calories a day. And it can store up to 3 days worth.
Jesus Christ.
Last 72. Okay. Okay, that's actually rather efficient. The next thing Krill does is quickly look over its subconscious internalized system and seeing if there's any tips to controlling them in any way, shape, or form.
There is a meditation mode.
Huh. Does it specify how that works? Is it strictly like a meditation, or is it you put yourself in a meditative state however you can?
It indicates that you are required to both meditate and place it into a meditation mode. And this helps synergize the neural electrical frameworks.
Okay. I have to find my Zen. Well, Krill's Zen is different than most people. She's pretty wired high as a being. So Krill kind of pulling it down. So my internalized systems are out of sync with me, and I need to find my zen. Would anyone hate if I put on some music so that I can try and get to work once I'm done with this?
I mean, how long does it take for you to meditate?
I don't know. I've been in a really happy state, but full meditation never attempted before.
All right. So before you do that, all that, first, where are you going to stay? Because I don't think you've got any beds at your fucking place, right?
I have a chair.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. You need at least a fucking couch.
I have a couch.
Will you fit on it?
I mostly sat on it before. I've never considered could I lie on my couch before.
Have you ever
this
slept
one,
on a bed?
The last time I was laying on my back, I was under surgery.
Okay. Karen, I assume that we're not having her sleep at your house. All right, cool. Yeah,
That feels like an imposition. That feels like an imposition.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're cute. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And I think Dalton probably needs to get some sleep before his big race.
That will be good.
Yeah, cool. All right. Do you have any clothes besides the scrubs?
No.
All right, we'll fix that. I got some from my ex at my place, so we'll get you some.
Okay.
I'm just saying is you can't go walking around like a hospital patient.
This is an accurate assessment.
Yeah.
But-
Shoes are fine for now, but I got some other pairs.
Bare feet is an interesting sensation, though.
I would not recommend walking barefoot in the middle of this goddamn city.
You afraid I'm going to bleed?
I'm afraid you're going to either bleed, get something inside your system, short circuit yourself, or name whatever possible reason. Shoes are just easier.
This is a considerable thing.
We'll get you some clothes, see if we can get you. Let's make sure your couch is fine at your place. If not, we can crash at my place or something.
I need to get everything out of that place anyways.
Yeah.
Once Dalton's race is done, that is going to be my first and foremost thing. Get the
Alright.
scrap and all my shit out of that place. It is just an upcoming charge for me that's laying in wait that I want not to be on my plate anymore.
Yeah. We'll figure that out, but yeah. In the meantime, you need a place to stay.
Alright, well, the day is still young.
Yep.
I appreciate your offer when it actually is night. If I have nowhere else to go, I would appreciate that, Patty.
No problem. Second thing. Karen. I feel like I'm just twiddling my thumbs here. I've gotten my armor. I've got my guns. I don't really have any money to get anything else that I could use or want or whatever right now.
Right.
Do we... Can we look at the fucking app, see if there's a job available?
We could. I'm a little occupied at the moment with another endeavor.
Oh?
A small thing. Someone had asked me if I could look into something for them. If it benefits me, it will benefit everybody. I might have a use for you, Patty, though. In a little bit.
Alright, well, until then, I'll be making sure my shit's together and making sure nobody dies.
Will she need to be armed for this, Karen?
Probably better not.
Okay, understood. Because we still had one of our rifles in the back that needed to get retweaked because it was built incorrectly.
Well, if she wants to play with that for a little bit, that wouldn't be a problem.
I would have to redo the barrel as its accuracy is abysmal, but once it's done, yeah.
I mean, I've shot with worse weapons. I could probably figure it out.
The creator and me will not allow you to use a subpar weapon I've made. Sorry.
Can I at least touch it?
Sorry, that made me laugh. Krill nods and walks into the back room, going into the lockers that are mostly entirely empty at this point, and grabs the last standard Krilltech rifle.
All right. Takes it and then just kind of seeing what the issue is with it.
The issue is Dalton was the one who threaded the barrel.
Well, he tried, I guess.
Oh, he did, absolutely. The rest of it, look at its central firing mechanism, perfectly built. It's just this barrel.
What type of ammunition is it running on?
I think it was like 5.56 or something.
We're going like old-fashioned ammunition, not like I don't know.
I
I've
didn't
got my
bring it into existence,
Yeah.
so don't look to
Yeah.
me.
I know. 7.62.
7.62, and are we running on like electrical or are we running pure gunpowder? Because a lot of the modern stuff has started to incorporate more electronic.
It is not a mag fire. It's not a magnetic firing system. It is still black powder for now.
Patty just kind of slowly puts it back. Yeah, good to know. You should give people a warning on that because a lot of people are used to the magnetic. If you're going like classic, that hit's gonna throw them off.
It is not a shellless. It is not a shellless rifle. Like, it still uses full shelled bullets. It's not the only one on the market right now that does this. In fact, we based it off of a Red Sea rifle. That doesn't sound right. No, Red Sea's right. Yeah. A Red Sea rifle that is pretty common in place. So you may not be used to it, but I'm sure anyone who fires guns for a living is.
Patty pulls out her gun and pulls out her taser. Excuse me?
I said what I said.
You know how many people I've dropped? I lost count after 30.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
You know that because you have a more fragile body now, I can shoot you.
Technically, you could have shot her in her previous body as well.
Yeah. In fact, actually, I'm pretty sure the previous body would have taken the bullet worse than this one.
You know what? Fine. They want to fucking die, they can fucking die. And she's like, until the gun's like working properly, whatever.
Understood.
How about this, dear? Why don't you and I, Krill, go and get you something to wear? Hattie, why don't you help set her up so she has a nice place to land?
All right.
Sound good?
Fine.
Girl shopping day.
For anyone who is watching this, we have talked about this potential since before episode 1. Krill takes a moment and thinks she gets to spend time with Karen that isn't explicitly about building something or a mission. And it weirdly fills her with like a bit of determination. Like, okay. Spending time with people. Another new thing we need to... Yeah, let's see how this goes. Krill kind of just leans up and is like, yeah. You know what? Yeah. I would love that, Karen.
Just out of curiosity. Did Dalton hang on to the creds that he got from the chop job? Or were those passed off?
He transferred some around, but I think he held on to most of them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
our budget is mostly whatever is left over from the gun sale that Patty didn't use in buying armor.
And
Yeah,
a chunk of
we-
what Dalton
We
kept.
paid. Yeah, we paid for killing the lithium fire, and then paid some to Jigu.
Dalton paid for the lithium fire.
Yeah, no, I have
Yeah.
is original 12,500, then minus 2,200, and then minus another 100. I have the total. I just didn't know who hung on to what. That's all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dalton's still
Yeah.
loaded,
Yep.
quote unquote.
Dalton still has it. $10,400 Dalton funds.
Dalton need dues.
Yeah, Dalton.
Yeah.
Would freely add that
Okay.
to our money.
Okay. Before Krill goes, she just unthreads the barrel from the rifle, sliding it out, sits it on the table. Now I don't need to give it a schematic, I just need it to set to deconstruct this barrel. Can I do that before we go? This is gonna take time. Let's do this. And the thought of the ocean starts to pass over Krill again. And surely that memory starts to creep back up in her too. And she kind of, fighting it, lets it flow through her. This is who I am now. There's no going back. We can do this. And Krill's going to try and send a command to the table to deconstruct the barrel. It's a 0 on the die.
Would you like to let that roll just stay the way it is?
I will spend another fate point. And use her latest trait. Her latest aspect.
Which
Hands of Shiva.
Okay. And
She's invoking the creation aspect. Technically the destruction aspect of it, if anything.
okay. So barely, Caboose. Barely. In that serenity, in that hearing the crashing of the waves, you start to feel that breeze. And as that breeze moves through you, you start to move your arm. Except it's not your physical arm. You open your eyes and you see you're moving the arms of the work table as effortlessly as you can move your hands. you're one with it, and it's one with you.
This is more than I expected. Okay, okay. What's the total on the dice roll?
6.
It is? Okay. I thought as such, I just wanted to make sure. Looking deep inside her, she doesn't have the old schematic for the barrel. So instead, using this moment, in her mind, she constructs a new one. It's a cylinder, which should be simple enough. And almost instinctually, it seems to have flanged a little at the end. It's found an odder shape to it, almost a bit more natural looking. And she leaves the command in for it to make this new barrel. All right.
Patty just leans over to Karen. She didn't connect with that thing, right? I don't know. It was kind of a weird moment. I was just
the Force. Brrr.
I just adore Karen's fed upness phases. That just fucking.
What are you asking me? Like, Krill, like, she's in some fucking moment, but I wish she could recognize how fucking dunce, how much of a dunce Patty is about all this. All right. We have a new barrel being manufactured right now. Let's get on our way then, Karen. They'll be waiting for us when we get back.
Beautiful.
all right. And Troy, you need anything before we go? If I'm going to be setting up.
Setting up?
Yeah, I'm going to be setting up a place for Krill to stay in the meantime.
Oh. No. I believe I will be adequate here.
All right. And, well, if you need anything, you can just hit me on the codex, and she holds up her hand for a fist bump.
Understandable.
Troy, this is where you're supposed to bump your fist against mine. There
Or
you
just
go.
kind of awkwardly pushes it forward.
Yeah, and their knuckles bump. It's like kind of metal on metal in that moment. Yeah, there you go, man. So, high fives, fist bumps, handshakes, okay? 3 main things you need to do with people, okay?
I believe these interactions are a little too standard for my programming.
Come on, don't give me this fucking programming thing at this point, okay? You're literally, I don't know, you're like jumping in the net, you're hopping out, you're telling people how they feel in the middle of a goddamn airport, okay? Enough with this fucking programming shit, okay?
I have only my programming and my experiences to go off of.
And I'm saying is, stop thinking about it so much. Just go with it.
I am not sure how to do that. How do you not think?
I'm not saying you don't think, I'm saying don't overthink it. You overthink it, you make yourself stupid.
Or drink.
Hey, do not shit on other people's ways to not overthink, okay? I don't shit on you for driving cars at 200,000 miles an hour.
God, I wish.
Patty, are you capable of shutting down your entire thought process?
Yes.
Some would argue it's never on.
I like him. He's okay. I like him. He's okay. All right.
Krill
Let's
just looks
go.
up to Karen. Krill just looks up to Karen. We didn't even have to say anything that time.
Baby steps.
She's learning.
Addie's already out the door.
Okay. So, who's headed where and how?
Krill and I are on our way walking towards the central terminal. We're not going to stop there. We're going to go past it.
Okay. Since you're deep in the commerce zone anyway. Are we headed towards, what are we feeling?
Not the branch that heads up towards Karen's place, but the one that goes, what is that, north? Directly north?
Okay.
Towards the safe houses?
That would be
Is that what we're
east.
looking-
Yeah. Always remember the map is 90 degrees.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah.
Okay.
North.
Oh, got it. I see the line we're going through. Yep. West on the map. Got it.
Yeah, which is dead north in reality. So it's for the purposes of your map usage, you have to remember stage north and okay, it's like that. Audience north, stage north.
Next map update, we just put a little one of those map compasses, but it's fucking skewed.
I should. That's a good idea. I'll do that. Okay. So that's pretty close. That line hugs the well. You're pretty close to zone 0 in that section. So that is decently high-end garmentry that you're going to be shopping through. As you guys walk that direction, then you see a variety of stores. I mean, as you walk down the street, you've got satin velvet, which provides evening wear, crafted by, of course, the top designers in NSF, but minimalist, right? Yet opulent in that way that you can always identify. It's the little black dress that's fitted perfectly, right? You're like, oh, that's not cheap. That looks like a single piece of fabric, yet I bet that thing costs a lot of fucking money, right? It's that sort of thing. It's satin velvet. We've got luster couture, right? Made to measure garments. High-tech fabrics, though, right? Old school garmentry, but high-tech, new school, sustainable, biodegradable options in the fabric, right? Sleek, modern aesthetic, right? They even use bioluminescent lighting in their store to complete the sort of the sustainable image that they're going for. As you continue down the street, you see on the opposite side the Verve Emporium. Vintage. Bringing the vintage fashions back in. Restored items. Some of the highest end items go back all the way back to even the 1950s, but common vintage items could be found in the 20s and the 30s, that sort of thing. Subtle cyber enhancements are sometimes added to the vintage garmentry as you find. Warm, retro, neon lighting illuminates all of those classical styles, right? You see Arista. For the woman who keeps up with the latest cybernetic trends, right? Arista is sort of a fashion-forward clothing line, but highly tech, embedded with the tech. Even some of the garments have customizable lighting patterns and reactive fabrics that mimic almost the skin of a octopus or a squid, right? Holographic interface as you first walk into the store to browse the collection, right? You've got Estrella Atelier, high-end shop, where they offer a unique experience. You can co-create your fashion with their in-store designers. Lunar silk, asteroid leather, out of this world luxury.
I'd be wary of most silks that they list there. Due to the Morris alba plant being extinct due to the bombs, almost all silk is now taken from moths and spiders. Unless
Yeah.
they've somehow found an off-world bug to bring it in.
No, they get up to all kinds of fun stuff with genetics these days.
Oh goodness, it could be one of those sheep that create silk.
Now,
Who knows?
did any of these stores strike your fancy, or would you like me to pick?
And just
Arisa-
as an aside, just as sort of like a GM saying, hey, just so you know, you could turn the corner and head down away from the high fashion section into something else. Just want to make sure you know you have options. I am not, if nothing else, I am prepared.
Okay.
Arista sounds interesting, but I am having a feeling that anything here is likely out of our price range.
Maybe something more to aspire to.
I was very interested in the chromatophore dresses, though. That was very interesting.
Well, maybe you can take some pointers as we head by.
Mm-hmm. I wonder
Some
how
would
they exactly
agree.
do that.
Budget-wise, probably. Let's head east.
Agreed. Not before Krill, though, kind of just stops and looks at the window in Arista. Is there any of those chromatophore, aka what you're saying with the octopus skin and all that?
Reactive
Any of those
fabrics?
inspired-
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Are any of those?
they've got several mannequins set up in the shop, and as you approach the window, you see it change pattern, and as you sort of move, it shuffles and shifts in reaction to your movement.
Krill gets a shiver up her spine. She's like, ooh, I like that.
Karen also gets a shiver, but it's slightly different.
Hmm. Do you think someone would be pissed if I tried to scan this?
If they knew you were doing it, absolutely. They would be pissed off.
Understood. I will research this in other means.
Probably a good idea.
I'm just very intrigued in how they've created this artificial chromatophore mesh.
One of the few crimes taken seriously in this world, intellectual property theft.
And even Krill is aware of this as a creator. She wouldn't want people stealing her shit.
Fucking just response teams falling out of the sky.
Oh, look, there's MedTech coming in.
Corporate espionage! Get down!
Why? What else are the cops here for?
Alright. Let's see if we can find something more daily manageable.
Yes.
As the girls turn the corner heading down the street, you do see a marked shift in sort of the the sort of shall we say target demographic, and even the hollow ads drop from exotic vacations in faraway places and start to become more like, staycation-y territory, and as well as, but like, spa appointments and jewelry and that sort of stuff, right? We're taking it out of the, I spend 100,000 creds on a month-long vacation sort of situation, and bringing it back down into the realm of, I want some nice stuff, and I can afford some nice stuff, but, so as you turn corner, you see a store on your right called Urban Stitch. All right, everyday wear with a twist, variety of comfortable clothing, but seems to integrate a certain laid-back, inviting atmosphere that's going for that sort of mild hipster vibe, some wood accents on things, which shows you sort of like that is sort of this world's kind of thing. Like, in our world where it might be some rare metal, mining is actually pretty easy in this world, but to have wood as an accent on your clothing would be quite a thing, and is a little touch of opulence on an otherwise simple but brought up outfit.
Is the wood also external? Like,
Meaning?
is it also external on the building?
No, it's not on the building itself. That would be
Okay.
exorbitant. You see hollow glam. This is the digitally savvy woman tends to shop here. They have garments that have a range of holographic accessories with them. Very futuristic vibe, multiple screens showcasing virtual try-on options. So you can just stand in front of a screen and have it show what you would look like in the piece of clothing. They also have some of the hollow clothes that Troy may be familiar with as well. As you further yourselves down the street, you see Earth Tone. Earth Tone is sustainability, but affordable. Organics a lot. There is an allotment of the agricultural process that does go to sustainable sort of fabrics. You have your cottons and your hemps, but also recycled clothing, like recycled polyesters and recycled plastics that they sort of back convert and reconvert, that sort of thing. The lighting, of course, is, advertised as fully solar. A lot of stuff in that sort of regard. You'd be like, if you were savvy, you'd be like, doesn't our entire city run on like fusion, right? But they're just sort of going for the aesthetic of we're wholesome and environmental and that sort of thing, right?
We cracked fission 20 years ago. Why are they? Whatever.
You see Juniper Styles, classic go-to shop, versatile pieces that can transition from like work to casual sort of setting. Well-lit space, neutral colors, just sort of timeless designs hanging on the wall, right? And then you have Zenith Fashions. Zenith Fashion specializes in like a range of workwear that sort of lets you make a statement at work, but without breaking the bank, right? It's got a modern, professional look. It sort of aims to make the an efficient experience for the busy working modern woman.
Do you know where? Are you interested in shopping yourself today, Karen?
Well, I can't say I wouldn't be interested in picking something up while we're out.
I'm considering between two locations that I think may have something appealing, but I'm not.
Which two?
Urban Stitch looked very comfortable, to be honest. While Earth Tone claims to be sustainable, I have a feeling that may be strictly aesthetic. Zena Fashion, though, may have what I'm looking for.
I would not mind going there myself.
All right. Let's go see what they have.
Beautiful.
Surprised though, I thought hollow glam would be far more up your alley.
Depends on the day.
I'm not too sure what you mean by that, but I'll have to take your word for it. You see Krill let out a sigh. I really need to get out of that. The inflections that were forced by my old body seem to be still natural. I don't need to talk so jutted. It's hard to break.
Most habits are.
Anyway, so they head towards Zenith Fashion.
As you step into Zenith Fashions, your attention is immediately drawn to the store's meticulously curated atmosphere. Sleek silver railings hold a variety of work-appropriate attire, organized by style and color, from modern takes on classic pantsuit to fitted blazers and elegant skirts. The offerings are described as a celebration of profession, infused with a dash of flair. The walls, painted with a tasteful shade of gray, punctuated by minimalist artwork that reflects the brand's ethos of understated sophistication. Spotlights hang from the ceiling, illuminating each display, carefully positioned to showcase the garments without overwhelming your eye too much. To the right, as you walk in, you'll find a wall dedicated to accessories, scarves, belts, and even some low-profile cyber enhancements for the practical modern woman. On the left, a small seating area with plush chairs and a coffee table offering some fashion magazines and augmented reality headsets that can superimpose different outfits onto your avatar, giving you a virtual fitting experience. Towards the back of the store, the fitting rooms boast floor-to-ceiling mirrors and good lighting. Soft instrumental music subtly piped in through hidden speakers to enrich the customer experience. A small kiosk in the middle of the shop is staffed. And you see somebody going back and forth, possibly a fitting room assistant. You see a cashier, maybe a manager based on dress, seemingly ready to help find the perfect fit.
I may have made a false assumption on what I thought work attire meant.
What kind of work were you thinking?
I was expecting more modern takes on coveralls and workwear.
What do you think the majority of the work that's done in the city is like?
Now I'm questioning what I did assume. Originally, I thought a majority of people were industry workers and factories, manufacturing.
No.
Oh. Would they have anything for a laboratory attire in here?
Does it look like they do? Because I haven't seen a single thing that makes me think laboratory. You would know better than me.
I'm seeing a lot of expensive pantsuits. Well, let's see if we can find you something.
Well, while we're here. Heron goes to look for a nice black pantsuit, unassuming but fitted nice.
You readily find that. As I said, they're sorted by color and style. Pantsuits, black, bam, sizes.
Oh, look. They come in black, blacker black, obsidian, dark sky. And I think that one says pitch midnight. They're all microtones of each other. Do you know which one you're looking for?
The pitch midnight.
Ah,
Coming up from behind, as you take it off the rack, coming up from behind, a very floaty sales associate comes up from behind, and if you, oh my god, that will look amazing on you. You have such the perfect figure for it.
Yeah, it would have looked good on me 6 months ago.
Oh, girl, you're fine. You see on the name tag Steve.
girl, you're fine.
No offense, Steve, but I have the slight feeling that you're not the best expert on my end of things. Your interest might lie elsewhere.
Girl, I've seen more women naked than most men.
Not sure how to take that.
Well, what you should take is my advice and get those gorgeous hips into that piece. Also, maybe this one over here. And he takes off a skirt from the rack. Doesn't even look. Just takes the fucking skirt off the rack and he goes, yep. And shoves another piece into your hands.
Karen immediately drops it.
Little misattitude. I see how it is.
Oh, sorry. I just... people handing me things, I get a little on edge.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take it personally. She doesn't pick up anything unless directly wanted to.
My friend does know me,
He-
actually.
For the first time, looks at Krill
Barefoot in scrubs.
and goes, you know each other?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I thought she was just some homeless girl that had followed you in off the street.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So, are we looking to improve this?
No.
So we're
Just me.
going with the medical chic. Okay.
Do you have anything that would be appropriate for a laboratory?
Like lab director?
No, like chemist laboratory scientist.
You see, my friend here actually likes to get their hands dirty. I don't understand, but, you know. I know. Yeah.
Well, tell you what. Let me look in the back. Maybe something. I'll be right back. And Steve floats away.
Krill picks up the skirt and puts it back on the rack.
Why are you helping them?
Because they're trying to help me.
No, they're not. Anyway, Karen takes the garment that I pulled off the pantsuit and heads towards the kiosk. I'm guessing there's somebody behind the counter there.
Yep. You walk up, you see a young woman, the name tag Wendy on it. She immediately sees you and starts How may I help you today, ma'am?
Oh,
Karen, why does she look so stressed at you?
probably because she's particularly good at being incompetent.
Oh, is there any way that Karen even remembers this person?
That's more where I'm thinking. Why would Karen remember?
Okay.
No, it's just an instinctual thing.
Okay.
No, somebody who looks and responds to me like that, I am very well aware of exactly what they're like. No, this person's going to be a lot of fun for me to play with.
What kind of games do they like?
Ellen, I'm on break. Wendy walks off.
Solves one problem.
A 58, 60-year-old woman walks out and says, "Oh, what can I help you with tonight?"
Oh, someone who can finish a sale. That's interesting. That would help me if
Oh, I
someone
mean,
could finish
clearly,
a sale.
clearly it would help. I mean, we have to get you out of that awful outfit.
I've been trying, yes.
Well, not everybody can try successfully. And she takes it and rings it up. She goes, "Okay, that'll be 98 credits. Is that
98?
is that too much?"
I feel like I've been here before, and that was not the price of the last suit I bought here.
I mean, maybe your memory's failing. You are getting up there in the years.
Oh. Weird.
Does Krill
yeah.
even need to roll for this to understand that this is like some serious shit being thrown back and forth?
I don't know if Krill... You tell me if Krill needs to roll.
You know, fuck it, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't remember faces all that great, but I do remember clothes, and I remember my last one not fitting all that well. Right here in the waist?
I mean, maybe you should eat less.
Oh, honey, that's not the issue.
I mean, once the change comes, same amount of calories, and you just put on the weight.
Oh, please. Like I haven't been counting those for decades. No, it wasn't me.
Well, I'm sure the fabric magically got tighter on you. Well, then if you're afraid this one might not fit, then might I recommend you either try it on or already just trade it out for a larger size. That way you have room to grow.
But you see, the issue is it doesn't look good. Not
Well,
that
then-
it doesn't fit.
Well, then
entirely.
might I suggest you find something and then purchase that,
Okay, so go to a different store?
if you must.
Oh, darn. I was hoping I could just go to this one.
Well, we may not have something that fits you.
So what's your excuse for your pantsuit fitting so poorly?
Oh, I just don't care.
Oh. Oh. Oh, honey.
Krill. It is about this time that Steve comes floating in out of the back. And he is this. Okay. He is absolutely holding at arm's length in front of him a dirty pair of workers' coveralls. And he goes, "I found this from the guys that renovated the store."
Oh, that'll be useful for the time being. Bill catches it. And then
He just looks.
basically
He just looks at
mimicking
Ellen
his-
and just like,
Oh, honey, you're so helpful. Clearly putting his infatuation back at him.
He turns from disgust at that and just being praised. He very quickly is ingratiated to you and is like, girl, there are some shabby chic looks. Maybe you can build something off of that. Get a top that works with it.
Do you have any turtlenecks?
Tell you what, let me show you. And he grabs Krill by the hand and just starts just pulling you towards the turtlenecks.
As he's doing that, she whispers in, "Thank you to kill each other."
Oh, girl, that's every day here. Bitches be catty.
Grill's just nodding.
He takes you back to a back corner, and there is there's a wall of shirts that sort of like you see almost the styles go from long, so you've got like long sleeve turtlenecks, and if you look down the wall in this sort of like there's a rainbow of colors for every style, but then as you go down the wall of shirts, the shirts get like collectively shorter. The sleeves come up, the hemline comes up to crop top, right? They just go from really long to really short, and it's just rainbowed in between.
Grill's like genuinely looking at a navy, kind of more like a deep sky blue, crop top, long sleeve turtleneck. And she's looking at it like, hey, I actually feel like that would go well with this. And she's looking at the brown coveralls, and she's like, no, I think this would accent.
Steve at this point sort of has almost come alive with he works in a professional like pantsuit store, and for a moment he's allowed to get down with a little bit of a style that not necessarily he would normally in a work day. The average customer comes in here is a bitch in a pantsuit, a la Karen. And so you see him sort of like, yes, let's build something out of this. Maybe we can assemble some pieces from this shithole that I suffer in and make something interesting and unique out of it. Right? And so he catches your eye, and where it's looking, like any good sales associate, he's like, you basically see the dotted line. That one, right? And he yanks it off the shelf, and he's just holding it up on you. He's like, let's try it on. And he grabs you and whisks you towards the fitting rooms.
Ooh, I think a belt would go nice with this too.
We'll get you changed. I'll get the belt.
Sounds great. How is Karen feeling seeing them having their little, like, actually gleeful adventure in the corner?
He is actively shoving you into a changing room with the clothes very quickly behind.
Well, Karen is actually enjoying that Krill seems to be actually finding something, but leans over to Ellen and says, well, seeing as I'm picking up a little bit of your trash and seems like my friend here did find something, as long as it fits, maybe we will complete a purchase.
Look whose heart thawed a couple of degrees.
Only for the right heart, after all.
Ellen sort of looks at you, and looks back at the room that Krill's in, and looks back at you and looks back at the room and looks back at you and goes, "Ah, all right, sugar mama, I see you."
We all have our vices. Is there any deal for making a little bit of a combo and cleaning out that old dirty thing out of the back?
Well, I mean, that dirty thing is a limited edition. There's only one of it in one of a kind in the store, after all.
Well, if you want to keep it, I could always just leave it here.
We'll see what she comes out with. Steve is knocking on the door.
Krill steps out with the coveralls cinched at the waist, like not fully over her. Like it's tied up at the halfway point around the waist. And in the crop top, she steps out. The pants are super baggy on her, but it almost seems to be like actually a fit going on.
He has returned with a sort of like a cool gray / purple belt. It is definitely in the pastel range. Designed to match one of their pastel pantsuits, but definitely conflicts color palette wise with what you have chosen. Almost intentionally garish.
I like that. At least I like the bright tone you're going for.
And he
Hear me.
pulls out from behind his back another belt that's pink. And is holding both of them now.
Okay, Krill's nodding a little bit more at the pink.
He just over his shoulder.
And she puts on the thick, wide waist belt that would, separate the upper and lower torso on these pantsuits. Puts a large buckle on in the front. How's it look?
He leans in and pushes a button on the front of the buckle, and there's a shimmer that goes across the pink.
Ooh, I like that. Now, one last question. This top. Sky blue or beige?
Oh, girl, no, it's perfect the way it is.
All right. I'll take it.
He just grabs you by the hand and just sort of leads you with you in tow back to the front. And he
Krill's kind of skipping a little on her way back.
He brings you up to the front desk, the center kiosk, and stops, and something Krill has never had happen to her before. He takes your hand, pulls it up, and spins you.
Whoa! Shit, I knocked stuff off my desk. An attempt was made.
I give you... Psst, what's your name?
Krill.
I give you Krill.
Well, it certainly looks cozy. How does it feel?
Great. Look at my pants swoosh. And she goes back and forth as the pant legs swoosh around.
And as you do that, if you're watching Karen's face, notice her crack a bit more of a smile than she already had.
Hold on. Ellen hasn't stopped looking at Karen. She knows she just got a sale. So, We'll take the entire ensemble, I take it?
At least that ensemble for sure.
Actually, Krilla leans over. It's like, we are technically spending with partially my money. I just haven't been given it yet. Steve, can you grab that beige one too? May as well just make it optional.
Yes, dear. And he runs off, grabs the beige one, and comes back with the scrubs that Krill had left in the fitting room.
Thank you. I want to burn these.
Just don't do it in the alleyway.
You see Steve reach in his pocket, and he hands you a lighter.
Appreciate this.
It's on me. Ellen just looks over and goes, and she just swipes the one beige crop top and then types in the keypad for the other that she's wearing, and glances over and looks at the belt and rings up the belt, and she goes, shall we do the pantsuit as well?
Well, what's the damage so far?
Well, Steve leans in. Hold on. Yep.
Our boy Steve. Our boy Steve.
Steve leans in and goes, "Oh, don't worry about it, Ellen. I'll ring it up. You go back. Go check on Wendy. I think she was like crying in the break room or something." Ellen's like, "Okay, you got this?" And she's just looking dead at Karen, and Steve's like, "Oh, I got her, girl. Don't worry about it." As soon as Ellen is out of earshot, he goes, and he looks at Krill, not Karen. He goes, "You got my 10% employee discount."
Mwah.
So, that'll come to, and that'll come to 94 credits.
The price of the pantsuit alone beforehand. All of it together now.
You know what? Let's just make this a single stop. I need the pantsuit as well.
Okay, that'll be 189.
Karen swipes the codex.
Bags up the rest of it, hands it over, goes, "Girl, you look fierce."
Arr.
He grins and back.
There were many big cats on Earth that used to make this noise, but, we lost most of them. I hear some zoos still have a maintaining specimens, so I'd love to see them someday.
You're weird. Weird is good. I like it. Now,
Why do you think I keep her around?
somebody
Oh,
has
actually,
somebody's got to remind you how to be a human being.
I don't
Maybe.
know, Steve, if you would ever need any need for tech or arms in any way, but here's my contact. And Krill, in her good mood, hopefully is in zen enough to simply transfer her details.
Give me an advantaged roll.
Oh, come on. Jesus. My keyboard is screwed. Alright, that's a +1 on the die.
You successfully swipe over your contact details to Steve, and He goes, and he returns it. So you've got Steve's details as well now for the Zenith Fashion Sales Associate. Girl, hit me up. We'll go drinking sometime.
I have tried alcohol for the first time today. I found it appreciable but difficult to drink.
Yeah, it's pretty much alcohol.
Yep.
And just kind of with that same gleeful skip she had with him leaving, she takes both the bags, carrying even for Karen, knowing she's not going to want to hold it herself, and heads out of the store.
You know, I might need to go shopping with you more often.
I was just trying to learn from him, and seemingly that had benefited us quite greatly. Plus, he did have good fashion insight. Look at my belt. She pushes a button as it glitters.
Okay, that is fierce.
Rawr.
You just hear in the background, "Told you!"
I may need to borrow that at some point.
By all means, I may be attempting to replicate it for one with utility pockets.
Full Batman mode, I love it.
What is Batman?
Don't worry about it.
And they just head down the thoroughfare, gleefully in a good mood, surprisingly. Head back to the base then?
I think so.
As you head back, what's everybody else doing?
Dalton,
Yeah, Troy.
why do you like to race?
I guess it's hard to explain to a robot, but kind of the moment-to-moment, fast-paced living of it is, well, it's dangerous, it's fun, it's exciting. It's a lot of things that I don't know if you necessarily feel.
I may actually understand better than you have anticipated. The experiences net running could be described as similar, although they are much less life-threatening.
Well, I wouldn't know anything about net running. I don't have a lot of robot parts to go on.
Have you considered it?
Yeah. I'll say this. Krill makes a great case for not doing it, but at the same time, the stuff that Patty and Karen can do, they seem pretty okay with their upgrades.
Have you ever considered any kind of cybernetic upgrades?
I mean, everything's running pretty ship shape inside me, so I think I'm okay for now, you know? I mean, my eyes are getting old. I could maybe replace them at some point, but right now, I don't see what I would remove.
You could potentially increase your reaction time.
I've had people say that before, especially being a driver, but I don't know if it wouldn't, like, I don't know how to say this. I don't know if it would feel natural anymore, you know? A lot of the things I like about driving is that it's comes from inside. It's my personal gut reaction time. It's my own perception. I don't know how I'd feel if any kind of hardware was interrupting that.
Is a natural experience significant for a human being?
It can be, if you find something you really enjoy doing.
Are you perhaps there would be arguments that you could consider that would not hamper this natural experience during driving?
Eh. I mean, I'd be willing to look into it and see what they offer. It sounds interesting to a degree, but I also wouldn't want to be opted out of any competitions because of a potential cheat. But
Are
unless
augmented
you-
humans not allowed to race?
no, they are, but sometimes there are racing circuits that have specific rules, and even if they have augments, you gotta like shut them down, shut them off, or can't enter in general. But I don't know much about those races because I just do standard racing.
Perhaps having augments would mean that you would be competitive in an augmented race.
I do like the idea of doing every single race humanly possible against all competition, which ties into what I enjoy about being a racer, but also might be, admittedly, part of whatever mental health crisis led me down this road.
A mental health crisis led you down this road?
Well, I mean, people don't necessarily like being a thrill seeker in whatever way is a little bit of a dodgy lifestyle.
What was the crisis?
Dalton, like, Vietnam stares off into the middle distance for like a couple minutes. No crisis, I was just making a joke.
I'm afraid I don't get it.
That's okay, I didn't think you would. So, why do you want to know?
I have become curious about human experiences. Well, experiences in general. As I have begun experiencing experiences.
I think I'm following you. That's good. I think.
It's okay. I am not entirely certain I'm even following myself. This is, to use a phrase, uncharted territory.
Yeah, and I guess the best advice that I could give is as you become more aware and learn more about it, and you start to think everything sucks, that's the human experience. So, the worse it gets and the harder it is to figure out, the better you're doing.
Are you saying you're expecting my situation to deteriorate?
I mean, it's not called the human condition because it's a good time.
You almost make it sound like I should be dreading it.
I don't think so. I think what you're going through is very important, especially from where you come from. But there's gonna be a day you'll probably look back and wish that you were still just a robot fresh out of the box.
May I be honest with you, Dalton?
Sure.
There has been on an occasion where I have wished to return.
Honestly, I'm glad to hear that.
And yet,
Just-
for some reason, I also fear returning, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big chunk of the human experience, just wanting to go back to being naive and easygoing and everything being like it used to be. But nope. Either you keep moving forward, keep growing, keep adapting, you stagnate, or you die. There's no going back.
I see. It pleases me that we have been able to find a shared common experience.
Yeah, me too. We don't talk a lot, Troy, and when we do, I usually just get you to do something around the office.
I do not mind having the tasks. They, in a way, occupy me.
I understand that. I have a question for you, actually.
Please, I would love to answer it.
Yeah, have you ever beaten a guy to death?
While I do have a rudimentary combat program designed to defend any potential clients, no. At least as far as I am not aware of.
Okay.
The damage to my cranium would suggest that I was perhaps the one who was beaten.
That is true. I forgot about that.
I've yet to been able to access the lost memories from the damage.
That's true. Yeah, I lost a bit of memory after I got into that fight and got put in the hospital, but I definitely slugged the guy to death. Dalton
what
just
reason?
staring off in the middle distance again. I don't know why. He was in my truck apartment. Jacob had just left. Patty was being a pain in the ass. Oh, and I haven't stopped thinking about how pissed off Mickey made me.
Who is Mickey?
Guy I'm gonna have to do my race against. Sorry, let me rephrase. The guy I'm gonna smear against the wall in the race.
Do you plan on killing Mickey?
Yes.
Has Mickey done something to you to warrant this?
Yeah, before the race was scheduled and I came and told you about that, Mickey kidnapped me and tried to threaten my life, and we made a deal for the race. I'm supposed to throw the race, but again, I'm gonna throw Mickey into a ravine.
In that case, I hope you succeed in killing Mickey.
Oh, God, it's so nice to have some support.
I have noticed that the others are not particularly supportive of your endeavors.
It's not the first time I've had that reaction from people, and all I have to do is keep showing up with a little bit of scratch from these races, and eventually I'm sure everyone will be much more open to my ideas and my endeavors.
I don't know what my skills could offer, or what I could offer in my skills, but if you would like any assistance, I can always try my best.
Zooming into Dalton's mind, he's just thinking of the many ways he could try to use a sex robot to get to Mickey's car and sabotage it in some meaningful way, and just zooms out of Dalton's head. Well, I'll figure out something. If anything, just the moral support is appreciated. Maybe if I do some fixes to my car, you can, like, hold something up for me.
Any assistance I could provide, I would appreciate.
Yeah, for sure. I have not I've not raced for a while, but after doing my first race and now doing this next one, I'm admittedly pretty pumped to be back in the racing scene, getting my clout back.
Have you had a reputation before this?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to be pretty big down in the racing circuit. It's how I got back in so easily. You don't necessarily get back into racing unless you have some kind of achievement over your head.
Why did you stop?
It got too old, had other things to do. started driving for the mobs and some of the criminal gangs, dropping off, picking up. Made good money, and I didn't have to, well, made good money and didn't have to endanger my life, even though, yeah, I was running for gangsters, but somehow felt less dangerous than some of the races I was doing.
And driving for the mob was less dangerous?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You don't actually get shot at that often. Not a lot of altercations. And my job was to stay in the car, so any big altercations, I just peeled out.
I see, though that does sound contrary to my usual definitions of the mob.
No, you'd be surprised how mundane some of that stuff can be.
I see. Do you enjoy working on your cars?
Yeah, one of the few things that brings me peace.
Are you as mechanically inclined as Krill?
Mostly it just worked. I'm just good at cars. I tried to build a gun. I think it went pretty well, but something about the way Krill's been talking to me whenever I bring it up, I think I messed something up.
What was the most significant modification you ever made to a car?
I think I ripped the roof off of a car once just to make it a convertible.
You ripped a roof off of a car?
I mean, not with my bare hands or anything, but yeah, I took it to a shop, cut the whole top off, had a convertible for about a week till I realized that the best part of a convertible is putting the top up.
You did not place a retractable top.
I was very young. It's okay though, I used that convertible, well, that converted convertible to win a race, and I took someone else's car and just sold it. Sold the old one. Now that I think about it, I've done that to a lot of people.
Is
Wha-
this... oh, go
While
ahead.
this is going on, what's Patty doing?
All right. So, as basically like they went past the main terminal, she probably got on the terminal and was heading towards the apartment to try and clean it up and give Krill a place to crash. So, the main thing she was wanting to kind of keep attention of is just seeing how people are responding, see if there's any like heated gatherings, more than like 5 people as she ever runs across.
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, I could tell you that society is like falling apart and the sky is falling, but no.
Yeah, well, she's primarily curious about the PJ effect and see if anything falls from that. But in that moment, seeing nothing happens, she'll eventually make her way back to the apartment. And it's not clean. Patty hasn't taken a moment to really kind of get anything clean in a couple weeks because of all that's been fucking happening. So she's got like clothes just kind of pushed to one section. She's got different bottles that don't have like pictures on them. She doesn't have like scribbles on some of the bottles that are just lining her wall. And then her dishes are starting to pile up. So it's a lot of shit. I gotta get this together a little bit. So there's just commencing kind of a whole like cleaning. She gets like a whole load of laundry going. She gets her dishes done. She picks out probably a couple pants, couple shirts, maybe some boots or some like ankle shoe, like ankle tennis shoes and everything. So she's like kind of making sure if Krill crashes here, she's prepared. So that's kind of what she's doing primarily. She'll check the the forum where she put the posting for being a medic to see if anybody responds at all.
And I'll show you.
It's tails. Nope. Though there is a message underneath it. Apparently, if you want to meet some sexy local singles, you should probably click on this link.
Damn it. Okay. She shuts it off, and then the problem comes is she's itching to do something. She's low on creds. All the potential routes are burnt for getting creds. So Tex is out pretty much. She doesn't work at MedTech. She finally got her body armor, and maybe Karen has something that she could help with. So she's very much got like that, the itch to do something productive, but she doesn't know what to do, right? That's the problem. And she was hoping she could get something out of Lee's armory talking to somebody, but fucking Dougie okay, so it probably takes around a good 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's got pretty much everything else set up. She's got like a blanket and pillow set up on the couch so she'll crash, and then she's got the bed set up for Krill to sleep on her own because she's never slept on a bed before. And Patty might start wandering a little bit.
Okay.
She can't just stay inside. She has to get some of the movement out. So she's like, she'll probably send a message to Karen, be like, so the thing you want me to do I need to wear anything particular, or what I'm wearing is fine?
You receive, since you asked, wear the nicest thing you have.
And when is this happening?
Today.
Shit, fuck. Okay, like she basically took a step outside of the apartment and then immediately steps back. And she's like digging through her closet as she basically has everything kind of haphazard, but what you see on the other end, like the far end, was the pair of shorts and the crop top. They're like purposely put, and they're actually nicely hung up. And she's sorting through. She's like, okay, well, if I wanted to be average lesbian, I'd go with that. There's a dress. Okay. She sends 2 pictures to Karen. She sends a picture of like dress shirt, not super nice, kind of a blazer that could like close and could button up. She also says, I've got like 2 ties, blue, black, and then she shows a dress. It's kind of like a red dress that has like a little bit of white tips at the end, so it's kind of like mostly just one color, and then just kind of has the hints at the end.
What were the tie colors?
Blue and black. So it's kind of like just a normal black and then kind of a midnight blue.
And your shirt is what color?
It's like a white. She has pre-transition clothes, and then she has post-transition clothes.
The shirt and the blue tie.
All right. Cool. And then she starts setting that out, pulls out the iron, gets it all set up, and just eventually sets it at the closet, and she's like, all right. Okay. I have gotten all that set up. Krill's is set up. And then basically just her trying to pass the time and not accidentally do something stupid, and basically just sorting through her medical bag, making sure she has everything, maybe putting in a couple more bandages, a couple gauze here and there, just to help even it out, make sure she still has everything.
Okay. So Patty planning for an event she has no idea what's required of her as best she can. So Karen and Krill, you were headed back to base, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Dalton and Troy never left base. Patty, having set up the room. I see that little hand motion there, Aspen.
What?
Okay.
That's me tracking everyone.
Are you done at the apartment, or are you... Patty?
Oh, sorry, I zoned out for a second. She pretty much has everything ready. She said to leave the weapons, so she's gonna have a moment where she's like looking at the weapons. She's like, all right, well, it is possible, but all right. And then she stows it away, keeps it well hidden in the apartment, and puts the medical bag in a closet, and she eventually gets dressed. It's just basic suit and tie. She's got some black dress shoes on, kind of a little bit worn out on the creases along them, so she hasn't worn them in a while. So it's kind of like nice, but not super rich nice. So she eventually has it set up and gets her hair all set, maybe puts on a little bit of makeup, just basic foundation, concealer, a little bit of lipstick. She's going real basic on this. And with that, Patty is just basically in a suit at this point and just heads out to the base.
Cool. Then we will skip any travel. Given that the amount of time spent shopping, the amount of time spent at the apartment, and the amount of time that the awkward conversation probably spanned over, we will say that the three are converging back at the base near simultaneously with a little bit of stagger.
That was surprisingly fun, Karen. Thank you.
Yes, it actually was. Don't remember the last time I had a shopping buddy.
I have never. I've seen it in sitcoms and, friends having a shopping day. And lo and behold, I thought something like that was honestly gonna sound a little rude to myself here. I thought it was beneath me, and here I am finding that was probably the most fun I've had in years.
Try not to limit yourself, hun.
I'll take that to thought. Everything's new right now. Anything could be a new and good experience because of it.
I think you ended up choosing the right place to shop at.
She kind of swishes her pants around. Yeah, they had exactly what I was looking for. Well, If they had a lab coat, suddenly I'd be in heaven. But you know what? I'll take what I could get. And she does the hand flick again, mimicking Steve.
Again, that little smirk from Karen.
But hey, it's got pockets everywhere. This is going to be great.
It's very you.
I do not know what that means, but I'll take it as a compliment.
Oh, Patty, dear, how did your adventure go?
I went to my apartment.
And?
I cleaned it up and I am dressed up now.
You have a
Mission.
new fit. Did I say
mean,
that right, Karen? New fit?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
How did your trip go?
I've got swishy pants. And you see Krill in a turtleneck crop top with a fat waist belt that is glittering a little in the light with these, like, I guess you could say grayish brown coveralls that are tight at the waist.
Nice. Patty turns to Karen and says, "So when are you coming out as a lesbian?"
Oh, honey, it's more about the metal than the. I'm sorry, what?
Krill just has a moment of like, oh.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Krill, it's not the first person I've seen dressed like that. It's good, but not the first time.
Am I unoriginal?
No, that's not what I was saying. I'm just saying is I know the vibe.
I will take your word for it.
Yeah, you look good. And then she just ruffles Krill's hair a little bit.
Oh, that's a weird one, but is that what a head pat's called?
Yes.
I always see people do asterisk head pat asterisk online. Always confused me.
Yeah. All right. So okay. So Krill, I got my place set up. If you plan on crashing there, you can take the bed. I've got the couch. And I figured if you're going there, Dalton can give you a ride back.
All right, that sounds efficient.
All right. Here's my spare key. So just hold on to that. Don't lose it.
Did I just get
She
signed
puts
up
it in
for
one
a
of her
ride?
many pockets now. Sorry, go ahead.
Well-
Did I just get signed up for a ride?
Either you can let Krill walk by herself, probably get mugged, or you can give her a ride. It's up to you.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You've got a big race tomorrow, Dalton. I want to help out.
Hey, I'm gonna make you something good to eat tomorrow, so you're gonna have enough energy, okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. All right.
Now, Patty,
Hmm.
appreciate you putting that on. Yeah, that will work. Maybe we could see if the pants of this pantsuit. Well, no, sorry. I'm gonna be wearing that. My pants. Did they fit you?
How tall is Karen?
No,
she
I'm
is
not that
wee.
tall.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
Yeah. Patty's 6 foot. Sorry.
Let's bring up the official art just to double check.
Now I'm remembering. I would be looking up to you. Never mind.
Yeah.
This is a silly question.
Yeah. You would be looking up to her even if you just put on heels.
Somebody needs to adjust some scaling, I see.
Yeah, Karen would be smaller in that photo.
You are still wearing heels in that photo all the same.
Even then.
Even
Yeah.
then. No, I get you.
Yeah.
We'll get a more accurate size chart for the next update.
We're 5'6" on a good day.
Mm-hmm. With the
Dalton
heels.
still needs limb enhancements. Make him a
Yeah.
big boy.
Okay. Well, we can make it work. I'm gonna have you tag along with me while I go and visit somewhere.
All right. Well, you told me not to bring my guns, so I didn't.
Oh, okay. You could have left them here, but sure.
Or in the
Eh,
car.
I feel safer keeping them at my apartment.
Have something you need to confess to us on?
What?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, we going out now, or are we waiting a couple hours?
Let's see, what time is it?
It's late-ish afternoon, moving into evening.
We should head out.
Sounds good to me.
Ooh, my barrel's done.
As you pick the barrel up, this is quite possibly, it strikes you slowly. At first, it's just a barrel. You've made barrels before. But as you examine the barrel, you notice the edges. Edges are always where the craftsmanship shines through on things. And you notice that they're perfectly beveled, that they're perfectly flared, that the fluting is exactly how you could see it in your mind's eye. This is the nearest that any object has ever transferred from your brain into this thing that you called shared reality.
Krill's holding the barrel and then looking at her very base bone rifle that's sitting in front of it. She's almost like, you deserve a better gun to go with you.
You want me to test it? I can hold it.
Oh, she doesn't say that out loud. This is
Oh,
entirely
okay.
her thinking to herself.
Krill,
Yes. Okay.
as you sit here and stare at this barrel, you are inspired. You feel a new level of craftsmanship that you've never quite experienced. Usually this type of thing takes revisions. It takes drafts. It takes multiple tries. For the first time in your life, you had a thought, and it just materialized into this world through your tools. It was as if these tools were an extension of you, as if they were a part of your mind.
Krill's now looking at the arms now. And as she kind of does, they naturally flex and move with her. I have things to consider now.
For this point, and it's your job to know this, with this crafting table, if you are in a flow state, not just described, but actually in it by all narrative accounts, everything that is around you, everything that has happened in that day, if you are in that moment, you can add +1 to any crafting you do on that table. Which means, theoretically, you could break the fate ladder. You could build a legendary weapon on that table.
Krill is not overwhelmed. She feels like she should be. All of her internals, all of her feelings. She has goosebumps. What the fuck are goosebumps? And yet she can feel them all over her. She feels more in tune with her tools than ever. And she looks at this rifle that half of it was made by hand tools to refurbish and fix mistakes, where the manufacturers just mistracked of her code. She looks at it now. Now she knows what she can make with for Krill Tech proper. And with instinct, they start dismantling the rifle.
So you know, the mechanics of what you create on that table will not necessarily be automatically conveyed into the stats of the device that you create on that table, but the quality of what you create on that table will be regarded with those crafts rolls.
Mm-hmm. I don't expect her to get like everything she makes is like a +2 weapon. No, it's more like
Yes.
she's making immaculate craftsmanship.
She now can make what she wants to make.
If anyone is looking at the table, while one arm is deconstructing, another is starting with the stock feature of the rifle. And instead of it being this simple, bulky chunk at the back, it seems to be made of this framing that's almost akin to coral weave, striking upwards in natural-looking but sturdy patterns as it climbs. And Krill's just, like, looking at the table, just completely immersed in her work.
Troy is watching quite attentively.
How you doing, girl?
I think I'm meditating. As Krill is just in this silent embrace. The table is all she can really see.
Well, have fun with that. You know where the apartment is. Dalton can help give you a ride back. Thanks again, Dalton.
Anytime.
Yep. And just remember, if you start seeing anybody, just give us a heads up. Are we good to head out, Karen?
Let's go, Patty.
All right. And she just gives a pat on Dalton's shoulder and just salutes as they head out.
Let me know when you're ready to go, Krill.
I must see this through first.
Take your time. Dalton sits down on the chair and leans back like he's gonna fall asleep.
Why not you see if Jiku has more beer for you?
More beer. Dalton gets up and heads outside to see if there's beer.
There is no beer as the stall is closed.
Oh, damn it. Dalton heads back inside. Sits back in the chair and does that old man pose with his legs like straight out and crossed over and his hands on his stomach, just leaning back like waiting for Krill.
Oh, Krill is just entirely focused on this now.
Yes. I'm waiting on some other people.
Well, we are heading to A2B Transport Services.
And Troy? What is Troy doing?
I suppose after watching Krill for a while, just work, kind of fascinated with the mechanics. He looks up to Krill and says, "Is there any way I can assist you with this?"
You're muted.
I'm also thinking this is a pretty,
yeah.
central connected thing. As the parts are completed, could you put them to the side of the table? I am not unsure if there's anything you could do otherwise, but can you see the program? If you connect to the table, can you see what I see?
After moving one of the pieces to a side to clear a space for Krill, Roy jumps into the hardware layer. Starts looking into the programming. Does he see anything?
Give me a roll.
All right. That is a +2. I'm gonna guess this is a hack.
It's actually an investigate.
Oh.
So +3 in total. From the hardware layer, you don't really see a lot, except the best way I could describe this is a full utilization of the bandwidth, where a simple retrieval of an image or an avatar or net traffic or a connection might use anywhere from 12 to 38 to, but full net dive, you could spike it up to 78 or even 82%. What you're seeing is 100% network utilization. Every available bit that could be transferred is being transferred back and forth. This isn't the fattest pipe you've ever seen. You've been at network level, communication carriers. You've seen the capability now of what, some major network thoroughfares look like and what they can contain. This is a very small network. This is a local network, but it is rare that even, a CAD design type program would be utilizing the network to that extent. So what you notice is that the full capacity of this pipe, this network locally, is being presently used between this table and Krill.
Troy can't access any of the information on the table then without compromising the bandwidth, since there's not a lot of room, I would take it then.
Your presence would be noticed.
Troy is going to just the next little opportunity, the next little moment of, momentary absence. Troy is going to just kind of get his foot in on the little network node there.
What are you trying to connect to?
The table.
The table. Krill, it's like there's suddenly a speck in your vision.
Have you accessed?
I have. You are taking up the entirety of the of the connection bandwidth.
This level of dialogue between you two, while you are in a dive at the hardware layer and she is existing in the software layer, is not something that either of you have demonstrated a capability of understanding, let alone performing.
Okay.
There are characters in this world that absolutely transcend the hardware and software level layers, but as yet, neither has exhibited that capability.
Well, then Krill doesn't receive an answer then.
Krill, what you do is you feel, it's almost like a frame drop. You feel a drop.
Something is inefficient and in the way. Either that's Troy or something in here. Subconsciously, can Krill just flick that?
You can give me a roll. And since you are in that flow state, you can do it with advantage.
Is roll 2 rolling twice?
No.
No.
+3 on the die.
Troy, give me a roll.
Alrighty. Zero.
Your next IDS pops up and says, attack in progress.
Just looking a little confused by that, and I think a few things begin to click with Troy. And he immediately exits the nodes and logs off. And he's back into the real world now.
Krill, the lag alleviates and everything is where it was.
And as that happens, the construction just immediately continues. Tubular systems start being built to fill in coolant systems on this new rifle. Spines, stalks, they almost seem to be more naturally formed than it is. It's coming more from Krill's subconscious than perfect design. All that she's seen in documentaries seem to reflect in this creation, taking something more from nature than from humanity. And with that, she just returns to her Zen state as she works away.
Troy just kind of wakes up and shaking that off a little bit, since he technically did get a little bit of an attack, though luckily not long enough for anything significant to happen. And he just states, I believe I have an idea for a potential upgrade to the table in the near future.
Can Krill hear him?
I'm going to have you roll with disadvantage now.
Because she's so immersed. A 0 on the die.
Given that narratively, your notice capability is built upon an augmented headset that you no longer are connected to at present, and narratively what we know about your current state, I'm going to do a flat reading of your roll and say, no, you don't even really register. You may hear in some capacity, in some way it may be in the distance, but it's a person talking in a valley the other mountain range over.
Krill is just motionless as you see all of her attention. Not even like looking at anything directly. You know she is in this table.
Troy just kind of tilts his head, waiting for Phil to respond, and he kind of starts connecting the dots, and he starts realizing she's really into this. She's really, really immersed. And it's probably best that he doesn't bother her. So he turns his... Sorry, what?
I was going to ask, does Troy take any solace from this, being an outside observer to what he often does?
I think there's a modicum of pride in Troy. I think the idea that there's at least someone else in the room now that may even come close to understanding his experiences kind of gives Troy a little bit of a boost in his mood. Or whatever facsimile he has for a mood. But, seeing as Krill is preoccupied and there is only one other person in the room right now, Troy turns his attention back to Dalton. Just asks, is there anything you need, Dalton?
I could use a blanket and a hot cocoa, something to read. I could use...
And the camera fades out as Dalton is just continually listing items for Troy to retrieve. And we find ourselves with Patty and Karen. How are you two transiting to A to B headquarters?
Hiring a car.
Okay. We find Karen and Patty in the back of an automated vehicle heading towards A to B headquarters. Knowing what Karen?
Yes, as we're heading out, Karen is in the process of changing into the pantsuit.
Patty's just chilling. It's not the first time.
Yes. So, where we're going, Patty, my dear, is a transportation company. I'm interested in finding out about how they handle things. My plan is you will be a rich, oddly dressed well-to-do who wants to send something, and I am your concierge to grease the wheels with the actual people working. So you get to be loud and obnoxious.
Okay. I can do that. Loud of obnoxious. Okay. Yeah.
How's Patty feel?
Yeah.
What'd that look like inside for Patty?
Patty's confused because she's out of her element. She's in the middle of kind of a nice car. She's put on like the one suit she has that she pretty much never wears, and the shoes are just a little uncomfortable. Like they're the kinds you wear for specific events that you're just like, I wish to tear these off and burn them from every inch they exist. But she's trying not to fuck up. She's really trying to show to Karen that she can do this. She's like, okay, be loud, obnoxious, I got this.
And now just remember, you also have lots of money.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't have lots of money. I got like 50 credits to my name.
Duh. No, it's pretend.
Okay.
Basically, all you need to do is act like you should be there. You are important. And that you really, really want this to just be taken care of and not be a problem anymore.
So I'm just trying to get something shipped, and the more people get in my way, the more pissed off I get.
Mhm.
Got it. All right. All right. I'm in it. She purposely spreads the legs a little bit, trying to take up more space, kind of like trying to get in that I'm being a douche nozzle element. And she's like, so how far is it from here?
Right up by the industrial zone.
All right,
In-
well,
In the industrial zone.
I do not see A to B on the map, I think.
I believe Kite said it was near the shipping warehouses.
As you make your way towards the docks, towards the industrial section, you see the car sort of turn down that main road that the docks facility occupies, having been there once before, in a aborted, not failed, aborted attempt to investigate the docks. You maybe have a pang of recognition. And the car takes a right-hand turn away from the docks, but not very far. It's very quickly you find yourself at a corporate building. It's a corporate headquarters. It is a giant square of bluish tinted glass planted down, and you can see there is a side road down the side of the building. And if you're particularly observant, you can see that there are some sort of like, there is a transportation hub. There's some warehousing going on back there. There seems to be like the front is this sort of glass section, and then there is a back portion that has some sort of commercial proper activity that they engage in there as well. As you roll up, there is signage out front on the ground that says A to B transport, and the transport is underneath of it, and it's slanted, and it has an arrow off of it, and, you know, indicating the sort of function and form of the corporate logo itself, right? Car pulls up front, and there is a decently well-appointed, like, you know, walkway that goes to the front of the building, though you can easily see that there are there's a side that has parking lot attached to it, and there seems to be some sort of ingress egress point for, you know, probably employees. Given Karen's ability to read a place like this, I would assume that she would be able to be like, all right, that's that. So employees are going in around the side where there's sort of some employee parking structure attached. And then there's the front that has sort of the flowered, bushed entrance that leads to the grand pair of doors that open up to an atrium of sorts.
All right. So before we get out of this car, what part are you wanting to go? Are you just wanting to get a look around?
We're going to go in the front and see how they will interact with someone walking in off the street, soliciting them. Now, if it matters at all for what you are wanting to ship, think of it as... Think of it as a rare plant that you'd like to get a strain of that is very difficult to find these days. AKA isn't supposed to be here.
AK? Oh, AKA.
Yes.
All right, well, let's do it. And she opens up the door, holds it for Karen to get out.
Karen goes out the other door.
Fair enough. And starts walking towards the front of the building.
And Karen is walking one step behind and is saying, as much under her breath as she can while holding a smile, I am working for you right now. Don't hold the fucking door for me.
Patty keeps walking. She's going to pass by somebody, and she's going to do that shoulder check. Kind of like shoulder checks. Keeps walking, doesn't even like acknowledge them in that moment.
As you approach the front of the building, the doors automatically open, and there is, of course, a positive pressure to the air in this building. So you feel this air push out over you, and you can smell immediately that it has a lightly floral scent to it. The air has been scrubbed and has had a scent added to it. It is drier than the air outside, given that you are on a peninsula. They have dehumidified it a little bit to make it a little more comfortable, a little cooler, a fresher scent. First impressions mean everything. So these doors open, this positive pressure air wafts over you, and very quickly, a woman who looks like maybe she was dressed by somebody you might know comes rushing over to you and very quickly greets you and says, "My name is Isabel. How may I help you today?"
Yeah, where can I get my fucking plant? I need delivery.
I'm sorry, are we in possession of one of your... I'm sorry, if there is any problem, we can absolutely have that.
Yeah, I was supposed to get my fucking package 3 days ago, and you fucking couldn't send shit, and then you sent an email, come check with the fucking building or whatever, and here I am, Where is it?
Oh, my apologies. If there has been any mix-up in our shipping, we will absolutely rectify that right away. Just follow me over to this desk, and we will absolutely get that. We will get Marco, our concierge, on this immediately.
Okay, I don't care who you send. I just need it now.
Oh, my apologies. What is the? Do you have any tracking data for the package? Any name?
I had the tracking data, but then the problem came is they like got rid of it, and they said they would send me a new tracking data, but they never fucking sent it. And I'm going to use a fate point, and I'm going to use good cop, bad cop.
Okay.
And basically, whenever I spend it, make a provoke roll, and I try to give Karen a +2 to deceit or report.
Okay. Karen, would you like to make a report roll?
Well, I got to make the provoke roll first.
Okay.
That's a +2 total to provoke.
Okay. Karen?
+2 on the die.
What do you have? Anything, Karen? Oh, Karen. Okay. Isabel is, I mean, very much, she's not put on the back foot. This is quite literally a portion of the training of the job. This is far from the first time that a receptionist at this sort of facility has dealt with a angered wealthy person, right? Usually, though, it is an angered staff member on behalf of said wealthy person. For wealthy person to show themselves at the facility is a little off-putting, right? It is slightly disturbing to the norm of things, right? Though wealthy people do come through, they're often on a guided tour, a sort of like glitz and glamour, show the place off, fluff them and get the account, right? And in this instance, she is slightly put back on the back foot as a result of that. And she instinctually, through learned years doing this, apologizes and pivots. She turns to Karen. She very quickly, my apologies. We can absolutely get this sorted immediately for you. And she's looking at Karen now. And she goes, is there any information that you can provide me so we can get this handled as quickly as possible?
Actually, yes. But Flo here has a bit of a hard time.
Yeah, whatever. I have my eucalyptus plants, the 1 in 20 available on Earth, and it hasn't come in when it's supposed to after the amount of fucking credits I spent. I'm gonna be a little fucking pissed.
Yes, dear. I agree. They are the most precious things to me as well, and I want to make sure they get here as quickly as I can. But I think I'm gonna need to talk to Isabel here, maybe a little more,
All right,
privately.
I'm gonna do my breathing exercises. You got 5 minutes, and Patty purposely walks off and looks like to be heavily breathing.
Isabel looks at Karen and goes, if your employer would like to use our break room, we have a wellness center on site, and she absolutely can utilize it if she wishes.
Flo, there is a wellness center. I know how much you like those hot stones.
Do they have mats for me to stretch out?
Absolutely.
I need a... Okay, show me where it is. You've got this. And she just kind of like purposely grabs Karen's shoulder and like squeezes it tightly. If you fuck up, careful.
She motions, and just you see her mouth. And a well-appointed young man comes over and very quickly just up to your elbow basically and goes, I would be happy to show you our wellness center. I'm the concierge Marco, and I can provide you with any of our I can help facilitate any services.
Show me where the room is, okay? Just show me where it is, and then faster my assistant can get this done, the faster I can get my plant and go.
Of course, your plant is of utmost importance to us all. And he ushers you over to a room. It is a section of the area that you open the door, and there is very much a full spa inside there. There is a person behind the counter. He very quickly hands you off. Olivia. Olivia here will show you to the yoga room. Our guest here, our client, who she would Flo. Was it? Am I correct?
Yes.
Flo. Flo needs to have a good stretch, and so if you could, and Olivia very quickly picks up the torch, and handing off the angry wealthy person they are very efficient. They are very experienced. You see them just one to another sort of situation here. They are like past the hot potato, right? And Olivia says, follow me. I will show you our yoga room.
All right, well, hurry it up.
And she shuffles off, and down the hallway there is a door. And inside that room, the lights are sort of medium. They are sort of pinkish amber color, and there is the sound of raindrops and waterfalls in the background. And she very quickly grabs a mat and rolls it out and says, "All
right, now I need my space. I need 5 minutes alone. If you give me 5 minutes alone, I will not kill anybody here at all."
I would prefer if you didn't kill anyone here, so I will go ahead and make sure no one disturbs you.
Great. And she immediately starts pulling off the jacket, pulls off the shoes, and starts doing full yoga stretches, downward dog, tree poses, every bits of like what Patty has actually done, and purposely plays off the angry bitch.
The door closes, and on the other side, we see Olivia just roll her eyes and go, another fucking cunt. Camera cuts back to Isabel and whomever we're playing as today. Isabel goes, okay, well, now that the landmine has been removed from the room, do you have any tracking data? We can get this sorted very quickly.
Well, that is part of the thing. As I'm sure you know, sometimes when people are eccentric, they decide things and they think they're right. And we have to pick up the pieces.
Oh, okay. Are we your provider at all?
I don't know.
Okay. Tell you what, do you have any names it would have been shipped to or from or under care of, any of that sort of thing?
Well, likely she would have shipped it to Flo Rickenbaum, but it's yeah, who knows? It would have been coming from the Shenzhen region.
Okay, well, we can check. Let's start with Flo Rickenbaum. CH or CK?
CK.
Okay, Flo Rickenbaum. BAUM, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just gonna double check here. FLO.
Yes.
Okay, Flo Rickenbaum. I am seeing nothing come up under that name.
How quickly would you be able to ship something from there?
Okay. I think I see what we're attempting to do here. If the product can be delivered, we can get it here usually within 12 hours. It's sort of, if we can catch the next transport, hang on, let me just check really quickly. And she just starts typing her furious little fingers off. And she says, if we can meet a hour window in Shenzhen. If you can get whatever you need shipped, we can catch our next shipment over. We can have it here within 12 hours, and then we can usually get that last mile done within half an hour to 45 minutes of receipt of package. If we really, really want to push it, and in this world, of course, like the implication of really pushing it is pay a lot of fucking creds. If we really want to push it, then we could probably get that turned around in maybe 20 minutes. We could ignore some air traffic laws and get it dropped exactly on your building.
Okay, that's
So if
honestly quite impressive.
if you can get it, if you could get it at our shipping partner in Shenzhen, then we can probably do our side of it in 12 and a half hours.
I think the 12 and a half would do it. What would that set us back?
Hang on one sec. Last mile expedited, immediate next day. What is the approximate weight of the item that we'll be transporting?
Pound and a half.
Pound and a half. Okay. We could. Does it need any? It's a plant, right? We're transporting living material. Okay, so it's gonna need to be refrigerated or at least temperature controlled. All right, it's gonna have to go in that. All right. Oh, jeez. It looks like we're probably about. I mean, I can only give you an estimate until we get it checked in, and then but about 9,575. Yeah, we're looking at about just short of 10,000 credits. But we can get it done.
Wow. Okay. And if there happened to be a minor change in the strain and the certain amount of looking at what might be in this box, is that affecting the price?
We have shipping partners available for contract that do have certain privileged positions within the channels of shipping that we can utilize. Normally, those channels are reserved for established customers. We may need to put the job on the books, and then I might need you to meet with, say, our operations manager, Lucas, in the meantime, but we could get the wheels turning at least on it. It's theoretically possible. I can tell you usually those types of jobs drastically, they go up in price quite a bit, but it seems that your employer is capable of covering the cost.
They have such eclectic tastes.
Yes, yes. We pride ourselves in being the premier last mile delivery service for those types of customers with discerning, eclectic, respectable tastes that the well-to-do often have.
As they do.
Yes.
Well, okay.
You immediately recognize the literal employee manual section.
Yes, it was rote,
Yes.
recited. Well, I think that does provide me with some useful information for Flo. I will see what I can do about getting them in that window and getting it here. I suppose it's on me more than you if I miss that window, doesn't it?
Good luck.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Isabel.
You're welcome. What was your name again?
Carly.
Okay, Carly. I'll keep an eye out for any message. Just call the front desk. Just call the main line. Get transferred to the front desk. I'll redirect you where you need to go.
Happy Thursday.
Thursday's tequila day for me.
Oh, I need to pick that up as a tradition.
Tuesday's vodka.
I mean, every day is, but yes.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Do you want to go get her, or should we?
Probably best that I do.
Okay. She motioned. Marco. And Marco just basically appears at your elbow. Marco's entire job is to just make sure people go where they need to go. Fucking just boom, right by you. And he's like, retrieving our employer, are we?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, let's go get her. We'll see where Olivia put her. Marco opens the door for you to the wellness center. You smell immediately lilacs and jasmine and just the lights are less intense, and Olivia's standing there, and she sort of glances at Marco, and there's this sort of unspoken word, the unspoken communication, the nonverbal communication between long-standing employees and coworkers and that sort of thing. And she sort of, like, you see her just sort of detension a little, right? It's like, oh, nope. Right. Oh, no, never mind. This isn't one of them. And Marco just goes, the high-strung rich one. And Olivia goes, oh, yes, the cunt. Okay, let me go get her. And Olivia just sort of like goes to the door and checks.
You hear yelling coming through the door. Chen, when did I tell you need to have the plants arranged in a taxonomic order? Otherwise, they won't appreciate it and won't buy it, okay? You need to make sure it's perfectly in order.
Olivia, hearing this, turns back around and goes, this one's all yours, and just backs away from the door.
I'm used to it. And Karen goes on in. Flo.
Addie turns around. Chen, I will call you back. Did you find it out, Carly?
We have the information we need.
Okay, when is it coming?
As soon as we can get it to the shipping yard.
Center myself? Okay. I wanted to know the manager of this building. She looks specifically at anybody who's visible through the doorway, besides Karen. I want to know the manager for this building so I can tell exactly my mind.
Well, we have a number of, and Olivia looks to Olivia looks to Marco, and Marco goes, and he looks around, and there's no one there to save him, and so...
Give me all of the manager's numbers. I want all of them.
I don't think I'm authorized. I can get you I personally... You need to speak to Isabel on the way out.
Okay. Well, Marco, next time somebody asks you for information, you better have it ready.
I will take that under advisement. Thank you very much.
And she puts on her shoes very huffily, puts on the jackets, very much not relaxed still, very much acting like she's still pissed. And she's like, well, lead the way. And immediately starts walking forward towards wherever Isabel is.
It's towards the lobby.
Isabel? Your name is Isabel, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is.
Who is the manager? Because I have issues, okay? I was not thoroughly satisfied. The smell was not perfectly tinted towards that lilac. And I have not had any confirmation on when the package was actually available. I had to use Carly to get access to it.
Well, our day-to-day would be overseen by our operations manager, Lucas. If you would like, I can provide Carly with his contact details. And
I would appreciate that very fucking greatly.
You have my sincerest apologies for this, ma'am. And Carly swipes over Lucas's contact details, work contact details, to Carly.
Is this Lucas with a C or K?
It is Lucas with a C.
Gotcha. All right. She does like that final. Enter myself. Well, thank you very much. And she immediately turns on her heel and just walks out the building.
Karen, lingering a moment longer, turns to Isabel and goes, I hope your boss isn't this bad.
Oh, no, our boss is wonderful. He's
Oh.
a bit odd, but he's nice enough.
Oh. Well, enjoy that.
Good luck. Remember, Tequila Thursdays.
Brand new tradition. Karen follows. Heads on out.
Addie's standing a couple feet away, like foot tapping loudly, crossing her arms as she's pretending to talk back Chen. Like I said, no, you don't need to put that plant there. You need to put it over on the other side. And as she like looks Karen over, she's like giving a heads up and still speaking loudly to gain like a little bit of that I'm a bitch and I'm the center of attention. And she's like, well, Chen, you better get it together. Otherwise, I'm going to fire your ass and make sure your grandma dies in a goddamn hole. And she hits the button one more time.
Aaron has called a car to pick them back up. If the same one isn't still here, I'm guessing.
A new car. The cars very quickly shuffle around. A new car arrives. Doors open. Positive air pressure again following you outside, but this time you're met with, of course, the stench of the docks. And it is a drastic, humid, hot August day in New San Francisco as the camera follows these two, one experienced con artist and one slightly burgeoning con artist, out towards their car. As you get in your car and the doors close, the camera comes up and watches the door close, and it goes black.